Is your local school on lockdown due to all the panic right now? Do not fear, I'm a 26-year homeschool veteran, and I'm here to tell you it will be fine. Hey Credos! We've been a homeschool family since 1994. I would have worn a denim jumper, but I don't have one. I've actually never owned one. Anyway, 5 of our 6 kids have already graduated and gone on to college and adulthood. Only our baby, who is 16, remains. He's technically a sophomore, but will graduate a year early because, well, by next year, he'll already be done with calculus, biology, chemistry, physics, far more social studies and language arts than are required. And he'll also be done with a coding boot camp and a filmmaker course. So he'll be way ready to move on into his next phase. Anyway, if you're here, you're probably a public or private school family who has suddenly found yourself, against your will, thrust into having a greater level of education responsibility than you are accustomed to. And you're probably wondering what in the world to do. So let me give you a few ideas that hopefully will help. And please, if you have any specific questions, leave them in the comments. I'm happy to help and to get input from other homeschoolers. Tip number 1, don't try to homeschool. That may sound odd coming from a real, true homeschool advocate, but I'll tell you why. If your kids are home because the schools are practicing social distancing, you most likely intend to send your kids back to school as soon as it reopens, right? So honestly, there is no need to delve deeply into homeschool philosophy, curriculum, or group support. And particularly, there's no need to spend a lot of money. This is a relatively short-term problem that doesn't need a year-long or a lifelong solution. I assume your schools have something in place for you already. Either they're going to set up some form of distance learning, or they've sent homework assignments home to do, or they're simply going to extend the school year and pick up where they left off once the kids are back. If any of those things are happening with you, you can simply follow the plan provided by your school. You don't need to do something fancy. Tip number 2, don't fret about your kids getting behind. A dirty little secret I will let you in on is that it does not take remotely 7 hours a day, 180 days per year of seat time for kids to learn what is in the public school scope and sequence. I know most states require a certain number of attendance days for credit, and I kind of understand why, but it's really an artificial number that doesn't mean much. So don't worry too much about it. Childhood education is not complex. And very honestly, in most cases, your children can be completely void of structured education for a number of weeks with 0 negative consequences. It's true. So one option is to just let your kids plan out their forced vacation. What do they want to learn, explore, create? Ask them what they're interested in and then dive into that. Even if you never leave your home, you can play games, listen to music, read books, watch educational videos, cook, draw, take an endless array of online courses, and on and on. There's so many options. Tip number 3, structure carefully. If you really cannot stand the idea of less structured school days, let me start with a bit of advice. Don't try to recreate the school in your home. Your kids don't need to sit at a desk, focus on a particular subject at set intervals, raise their hands to speak or use the bathroom. I swear they don't need to. So if you will feel more at ease setting up a schedule, at least do it with a lot of flexibility and personalization. Ask your kids what they want to do and when they want to do it. If you decided to do math at 9 and science at 10, would it really matter if they wanted to switch it? Let your kids help you determine the schedule and have input on the topics and resources you use. I promise the more vested they are, the more motivated they'll be too. I was not homeschooled as a child. And when our oldest daughter asked to be homeschooled when she was 7, I first argued with her for days about it. I told her homeschoolers are freaks and weirdos. When she wore me down, I finally said, we'll try it for 1 year because I knew it would be an unmitigated disaster and she would beg to go back to school. And here we are. But even that 1-year commitment required such a shift in the way I look at education altogether because homeschooling was completely foreign to me, and it probably is to you too. So remember, please, real education and learning is probably not exactly what you think it is right now. So use these next few weeks to just explore new ideas and let your children be as involved in the process as possible. You might find you really love it. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. I do plan to do a series of homeschool videos down the road. You can also follow along on Instagram at Midlife Credo. Sometimes I actually post over there, but I do stories every day. Don't forget to join the Midlife Tribe on Facebook too, where we are thriving midlife without the crisis.